Rika, Knuckles. I only got back probably about 5 minutes ago from my walk because I had to grab the wife. Jordan, Knuckles, appreciate you, my man. I got back and then I thought, you know what? Before I jump in the shower and knock out, Swig, Knuckles, appreciate you. Before I jump in the shower and knock out, might as well finish my live off. Tomorrow, I'll be going live at 7. Spread the word. The stories will be coming all tomorrow. Oh, a lot of people on TikTok talking about jail stuff, eh? Salute, my man. Thank you, Uzo. Oh, Lakemba boys. You know what? Back in my day, the Lakemba boys were very, very dangerous boys, eh? You guys ever hear about Lakemba police station when it got Ochade up? Yeah. The real deal back then, those boys. Mozo. Hey, he's like that? Menace, my man. See how small it is? You know what? I buy these? They're from a Lebanese shop. I buy them because when my nephews and nieces come over, keep them from taking too much sugar. Instead of giving them a full can, I just give them a little one, you know. My parents love it. My family love it. Maki, appreciate you. Togo. Thoughts on Albanians? Thoughts on Albanians? They're the most dangerous people. Menace, those Albanians in the UK, mate, they're off their nut. What am I eating? Pineapple lumps. Come have Syrian barbecue. Hey, I'd love to have a Syrian barbecue. But yeah, these are from New Zealand. My good brother named Luca in New Zealand, he sent them to me from New Zealand. Russian mafia bloke. He in the KGB. Are you talking about the Manu? Oh, appreciate you guys. Are you talking about the Russian mafia guy that I was talking about? I don't know what mafia he was in. All I know is that he was Russian mafia. The media even said he was Russian mafia. But very quiet, very humble. You know how they talk about you got to be careful of those who are quiet, not those that throw their weight around and yap all the time. That Russian guy back in 2002, yeah, that's how he was, very quiet. Stories on the Brisbane Broncos. You know what? Respect to the Broncos. You know, it was a very, very good game. Also, respect to the Melbourne Storms. They played a very good game as well. Yeah, Jimmy's back in, boys. Who do I know from Wollongong? A lot of boys from Wollongong, especially Aussie boys. Only thing I know about Brisbane jails is the Koos and the Aussies go at it over there, and it's nothing like Sydney prisons. You know what? I would get Samoan Songai Mickey, but I can't get it. Apparently, you're not allowed to get the Samoan warrior tattoo if you have a tattoo already on your back. So it's not allowed to go over another tattoo apparently. Yeah, of course, Jimmy that's my close brother right there. There's stories of him on my page. If you go to my Instagram, Triggz, Triggz, you'll find all the stories on there. Siblings, I have 2 brothers and 1 sister, but I also have stepsister that my parents adopted. Triggz. If you're gonna get on my page and be a hater, just message my inbox. Nobody wants to hear all your rubbish. Afghan Wazza. Nah, I don't know Afghan Wazza. I know Wazza Al-Assad, the Lebanese one. Yeah, I don't know Big Cash well, but I do know his brother, Soul, and bro, he's a gentleman. He's Wayne King, very very solid dogowa. I know a lot of boys from Melbourne. Don't forget, I grew up in Melbourne as well. I lived in Glenroy, and I used to hang out at Broadmeadows. Mike Hunt, he's mate, that guy's named Mark Hunt. When I was growing up, I'll tell you the story about Mark Hunt. One of my boys had a one-on-one with his brother, yeah, and apparently it was like an even fight. I don't really know. Dolphin, appreciate you if this fight occurred or not, because I wasn't there. PJ, appreciate you. Apparently it's like an even fight, and then the boys told me a story when I got out of prison that one of my boys, I don't want to mention his name, apparently Mark Hunt met up with him. Kenya, Philos, appreciate you. And then Mark Hunt goes, I heard you had a go with my brother. And then my boy said, yeah, it was a one-on-one. And then Mark Hunt said to him, oh, yeah, that's cool. Since you're man enough to take on my brother, let's see if you're man enough to take me on. And my mate said to me, yeah, all good. Apparently they went out to have a one-on-one, and Mark Hunt laid out my mate, you know. But that was a story where I was like, bro, why would you fight Mark Hunt? And then my mate goes, also, I didn't know it was him. Yo, what's my, appreciate you, my man. Tanisha, I love you, niece. Hoppa, appreciate you. Yeah, I used to live in New Zealand as well. There's a lot of BL boys in New Zealand already. Marky, appreciate you. Nah, I don't know Rabbi Kalachi, but I was with him at Kempsey, but we were in different pods. But I know his brothers. Right. Any stories? There's too many stories. I mean, yeah, bro. Yo, when I was in New Zealand, KWE, appreciate you. When I was in New Zealand, you know, liquor, the Comanchero liquor. I remember when I went to New Zealand, Ethan, appreciate you. He asked me if I wanted to come to a training session with him. So I was in Auckland, and I went in the morning. It was about 5:30 a.m. You know what he means? I thought this guy was going for a normal training session. KWE, appreciate you. But he wasn't even having a normal training session. David Tua was training him, putting him through the pads. That's the first time I ever seen David Tua, and I was like, bro, this guy's a machine, mate. Even with his age, mate, you can see that he's still got it, you know what I mean? Freaking machine. And mind you, Liquor, when his punches connect on pads, like they're loud, they sting, you can hear the power and impact on it. Skids, appreciate you. But David Tua, man, like I swear, it was like nothing to him. It was like bang, 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 and he'd be calling the combos. Nisa, appreciate you. And Liquor was just smashing him, you know. I just stood there and watched. I was just in awe because I was in front of David Tua. And for those of you who don't know David Tua, he actually made it to the top of boxing. And then David Tua fought Lennox Lewis. And then when he lost the fight against Lennox Lewis, it was only by points, yeah. They never let him have another shot at the title, which was a shit go, unknown. Like us Samoans, like we hated that the people who run boxing would just look past David Tua, you know, when bro the guy was smashing the big names, the guy was killing it, and then as soon as he lost that one fight, as soon as he lost that one fight against Lennox Lewis, mate, they never let him have a title fight again. And mind you, if you guys ever watched that fight versus Tua and Lennox shaped up, thought he was a bad man, returned, which he is. He's a bad man. David Tua rocked him in the second round. Left hook. Mate, friggin' almost got him, but the bell rang, yeah? Long story short, after he copped that left hook, that's when Lennox Lewis just jabbed and run. And he won by points. Trey. Yeah, don't worry, my man. Fight Kwame stories will be coming. Tomorrow I got a live. It's going to be big stories tomorrow. And I'll be talking on Fight Kwame at the end of the week. Skids gang, appreciate you. Don't forget, these people who keep asking me for stories on Fight Kwame, don't forget that guy's story is big story, you know, like you can't just tell all of it on one live. It's like, he's like Bass Hemsey and Mick Kanan. Like, these guys have been through a lot, and it's not something easy to talk about in 1 hour. Yeah, I watched a lot of UFC. You know what? The one thing about boys inside prison, especially the Lebo boys, they were getting in. Every time the boys had mobile phones inside prison, they were always watching UFC. And there was, I remember watching the Lebo boys. They used to learn how to grapple by YouTube, because they teach you moves, you know, the greats from overseas. And mate, I remember 2011, 12 and 13, mate, everyone in prison was trying to be a UFC fighter. Everyone was grappling. I swear, I remember watching the Lebo boys one day. They used to like, obviously you got to hide your mobile phone, yeah, but they'll put up their mobile phone while they grappled. Return, appreciate you, my man. And then they'll film themselves grappling and they'll send it home to their families, you know. It's the same as every other person. Like, the Islanders had mobile phones, the Asians, and like, you'd film yourself like, Dottie, appreciate you, Bumpy. They used to film themselves like doing training, boxing, kickboxing. Juice, appreciate you. And a lot of the videos that I took from inside prison with a mobile phone, the police took it because I got charged for a mobile phone while I was in prison. Misa, so have a think about it. Once everything starts coming out professionally, all those videos that the police took off me and gave back to me will be on my podcast and all that, and it's off. It's here, like, it pretty much shows us inside the yards at Goulburn, training and boxing every single day. It's the same thing. A lot of boys did the same thing when they had mobile phones. 100%. Bro, that Harley thing is off its head. Scoots, appreciate ya. Do you see what I mean, Bob? When I'm going online, when I'm going online trying to teach the younger generation, it's all about these things. Like, he was that kid, I think his name's Harley, they were saying he was 19 years old, and that petrol station hit. If all of you saw it, the guys jumped out of a car, the guy was at the petrol station, both of them were running towards him. One of them had a poncho on, yeah, it's like a Mexican thing, but they started unloading on the guy, and obviously the poor guy lost out. But my point is, you know, he's overseas now. For the rest of his life, he's going to be watching his back because Australia's after him. Like, there's no, from what we know, there's no proof that he did it, but he's wanted from Australia. So if he goes to any Commonwealth countries, they'll deport him back here immediately, you know. Even if he's not at a Commonwealth country, Australia can make deals with that country to bring him back. Look at Masood Zakaria. He's part of the Elmadine boys, yeah? He was over there living life, doing what he's got to do for himself and his family. And apparently, Australia swindled a move and kidnapped the bloke from Turkey and brought him back here to Australia. Misa, appreciate you. So there you go. Like, to all you younger generation out there, you can Do whatever you want. Like, I'm just here to tell my story with the hope that you learn from it. But look at all these big names that doing what they're doing. Chanel, appreciate you. T, appreciate you. Look at all these big name gangsters that are doing things here and then taking off overseas. They're all locked up. They always get caught, you know? Like, you're going to have to watch your back for the rest of your life. Yeah, 100%. Chris, appreciate you. Masood Zachariah's already here. He's in Supermax already. Hey G, appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, look, Alan Meridian. I know him from back in 07 when I first met him and Alan Meridian and Luke Sparrows. For those of you who don't know Alan and Luke Sparrows, these two, they got caught with a lot. Alan was known inside prison because when he was arrested, his house was decked out in Versace. Luke Sparrows was known because he had $10 million hidden away in the wall and money up on the roof. And they found 2 golden guns there as well, yeah. And then they called them, if you Google it, the Golden Gun Syndicate. And yeah, so Alan ended up joining the Lone Wolves. Luke went on his own. He refused to join any gangs. Tyson. And again, to all the younger generation there, these two are 2 guys who made big money. When I say big money, like, look, got caught with $10 million. Look, his house was decked out in Versace. Like, even apparently his toilet seat was made out of Versace, you know. So, and the door handles, you know. So to all you younger generation out there, look at that. So I said, appreciate you. 2 big names, 2 big gangsters. And now Luke Sparrows is in Supermax. He's friggin' looking at a big whack inside prison, and he just finished doing about 9 years, I think. 9 or 12 years he just finished doing. AJ, how are you, AJ? And Alan Meridian, for those of you who don't know Alan, he's the one who got murder made at Bondi under the car park, you know. So this is what happens when you live this life. Uso, appreciate you. Thank you very much. Sorry, there's no name on your flower, so I don't know what to say, but I appreciate you, Tyson. Thank you. Hey, Migs, welcome, guys, welcome. Right, there's a lot of tough islanders in there, you know. Yes, I don't know the BK boys, but I do know Leroy Amatangi, a very close brother of mine. He was a part of BK as well. Appreciate you. I'm not gonna say that name. My man, Mully Munch. I said this guy did it on purpose, sending me flowers just because he wants me to say thank you, Mully Munch. Malo Mully Munch. It's like crack up, bro. Mully Munch. Giving me 1 cent flowers to say Mully Munch. Malo Mully Munch. Yo, DJ Stan, my man. Hey, love from Hawaii. Wow, Malo Hawaii. I appreciate you. You friends with Eric Moefili, make it my appreciate you. Yeah, look, I have no problem with Eric. We've known each other since we were young, you know. But we both took different routes. He got messed up on the drugs, but you know, he's one person who can handle himself. Make it, appreciate you. But he had a few issues with younger boys as well. I don't know what happened there because he let it go. But I guess each to their own, you know. Did someone write is Mons heavy? I don't know who Mons is. Sorry, bro. Unless you're talking about Mozza. Do you know Mons from Supermax? Nah, sorry, bro. I never heard of Mons from Supermax. I bet you any money whoever just asked that question is an officer from prison. Mister, I appreciate you. Someone just asked me, have I ever bumped into prison officers that I grew up with? Yeah, I have. Look, one of them, actually two of them, they tried to shake my hand when I was in prison, yeah? Obviously, because we grew up together as kids. And I quickly said, nah, you can't shake my hand. I said to them, you're in blue, I'm in green. I got love for you still from when we grew up together, but I don't want you guys losing your job, you know. And not once did I ever ask these two officers to try to smuggle anything in for me. And I know I could have asked them because they never would have snitched me in, Jamster. We're so close. Like, out of these two officers, one of them, I saved him in Fairfield when he was getting jumped. So I know if I asked for help, he would have helped me, but I didn't want them to jeopardize their jobs for me just because I wanted a mobile phone, you know, like. But I made sure that I didn't shake their hand because I had to explain to them, boys, you're gonna lose your job if they find out that you guys know me, you know. I even have family members who are screws in there. They would tell you, James, appreciate you. And even when I saw my family members, I never spoke to them. Like, same thing. I don't want them to lose their job. You know, there's bad and good in every industry. There's bad and good. Facts only, appreciate you. DVD, appreciate you. There's bad and good in all people, you know, like. You just got to find the right ones and stick with them, you know. I say, these guys, everyone keeps killing my life about fired Kwame, wanting me to talk about him. You're going to get fired Kwame's story at the end of the week. Tomorrow I'm going live, but tomorrow's going to be a different story. The only reason why I haven't said anything about fired Kwame is because they appreciate you. Fired Kwame's story is a big story, like Bass Hems's story. But I will give you guys a bit of an insight on something that happened inside prison. So there was a guy, I don't want to mention his names, James, appreciate you, because I don't want to ruin what the boys have already got going here. But someone out here who's high profile in the entertainment industry reached out to Bass Hemsy inside prison. I like, mind you, DJ Stan, appreciate you, Mosul, and not just Bass, but also Mick Kanan and Fired Kwame, yeah. And I don't know if it was two different guys. See my journey, appreciate you, DJ Stan, but this high-profile person asked the boys for approval to do a movie on them, yeah. And I know for a fact that when they were talking about this movie stuff, it was appreciate you guys. It was pretty big because they were all like shocked that someone on the outside would actually ask permission to tell their story. But I had to explain to two of them, they're not asking your permission. They're just trying to say to you guys, we're going to write your movie, and if you want to tell us what really happened, then we're going to make sure that there'll be facts when your movie or your series comes out. But $45 million is what they said they were looking at getting from Paramount to do these stories. So they weren't getting 45 million, but they were going to ask for 45 million to tell the stories of these boys, Fired Kwame, Bass Hemsy, Mick Kanan. And I was there when they got these letters, you know, and I remember thinking to myself, how are you going to get $45 million? Have you guys ever heard of $45 million in Australian movies? Because I haven't, yeah, until I heard that. But it wasn't until John Ibrahim released The Last King of the Cross. So I don't know if you guys know, but my wife, she went and had meetings with Carl Sanderland's team and also John Ibrahim and his team. And when they saw the docu-series that they were doing, they said, look, it's very exciting what you guys are doing. Because, and they gave my wife, well, John Ibrahim actually gave my wife a big talking to, because he explained to her, which I appreciate, that if she is sure that she wants to be a part of this docu-series and and everything that comes with it. So remember, when you make a series and a movie, obviously I'm not gonna play myself. I mean, if I could, I would, but how am I gonna do a backflip in this movie? If I do an AI of myself, you know. But anyway, to cut a long story short, John Abraham said to my wife, "Are you sure you want to be involved in this docu-series? I've seen many women who were nobodies, yeah, and then they were given an opportunity to be someone. For example, you know, housewives. So I'm not gonna mention. Appreciate you, Wild. I'm not gonna mention John Abraham's story because I don't want the bloke to be releasing what he's to be getting ready to release what he's doing, and then all of a sudden I outed what the bloke was talking to my wife about. Scorpio, appreciate you. So I'm not gonna talk on it, but what I'm gonna say is he said when these females were given this opportunity, they ended up thinking that they were entitled. You know, they went from being normal, average women who were like middle class, like barely middle class, to thinking that they were like upper class. You know, and they would go and buy expensive jewelry just to show the media, like, look at me, you know what I mean? Like this is all these housewives here in Australia, and they were gonna start another housewives thing. These people that we were talking to, but it wasn't gonna be housewives. It's gonna be a different thing. I can't explain it because I don't want to out what they're doing here. But hi, appreciate you. But he said to my wife, "Are you sure you want to be a part of this?" Because remember, if you have any skeletons in your closet, it's all gonna be outed once you once the limelight is on you. Yeah, appreciate you, my man. And my wife told John Abraham, crazy, appreciate you. My wife told John Abraham, I never wanted to be a part of all this stuff that my husband is doing, or I wasn't a husband at the time, but that my partner is doing with cameras and social media. I appreciate you. I never wanted anything to do with the limelight. Amanda, appreciate you. And then my wife said to John Abraham, but if you're trying to insinuate that I shouldn't get on camera in case I have skeletons in my closet, my wife said to him, you know what, that motivates me to get on camera because I have nothing to hide. So pretty much my wife wants nothing to do with the social media stuff and the docu-series and all that, but she's only doing it not only just for me, but to show that she's got nothing to hide. Because remember, it doesn't matter who you are. Once you put your face on camera, all the haters that don't even know you are going to start talking rubbish. Not even that. Even all the people in your past that maybe you done something with or had a relationship with or you grew up with, they're all going to start bringing up the past, you know. And that's what John Abraham was scared of when he asked my wife, are you sure you want to be a part of this? And she goes, no, I don't want nothing to do with this. But I have nothing to hide. And to prove it, I'm happy to be on camera. So, yeah. For the person who asked a question about that, there you go. Yeah, 100%. Gang life is rubbish. And I said it before. It ain't cool to be a gangster. I don't really want to talk about the standovers and stuff that happened in prison because it's like I'm putting people on show, you know, especially too when these people have passed away. But let me tell you something. Remember how I always talk to you younger generation about these big names you hear about, and then as soon as they go into prison, they get stood over, they get stomped by nobodies? There you go. It's happened a lot. Do I miss being inside? Hell no. You know what? I'm going to tell you guys straight. Every time I was out of prison, I was always ready to go back into prison. Like, I knew that I was living a life of crime. I knew that I was going to go searching for my enemies. I knew that when I got out, I was going to do what needed to be done to make money. I did not care. Every time I got out of prison, I lived the gangster life. You know, I was a gangster. This is the first time ever in my life that I said, I'm not going to be the old me, you know. I've actually never said that in my life. Usually when someone says to me this question, are you going to come back in? I used to always say to them, I'll see you guys soon. I swear, that's what I always used to tell everyone throughout. Since 2001, every screw, every inmate, every parent, every single person that's ever asked me that question, are you going to go back to prison? I always used to say the same thing. I'll see you guys soon. It's because I didn't care about my life, you know? And that's why I explain this to all the younger generation out there. Like, I understand what you guys are going through, you know, not caring about your life. Trust me, I've been there where I didn't care about my own life. That's why I always used to tell everyone when they ask me, are you going to go back to prison? A lot of boys were like, no, I'm never going back to prison. I never ever said that. I always used to say, yeah, 100%, I'll be going back to prison, because I knew I was going to be doing dumb shit as soon as I got out of prison, you know? This is actually the first time in my life that I've ever said, no, I'm not going back to prison. Trust me, to all you younger generation out there that's watching me, it's a waste of a life, you know? Let me tell you something. Outside here, this is where your life is to be built. Inside there, you're not building nothing. You're not establishing nothing. No matter who you think you are, no matter how much money you make, you know, when you're inside prison, all you get to spend is $800 a month. That's the whack, Jack. And all the money that you make from inside prison. Let me explain something to you guys here. See all these young gangs, OC, S2F, Heartless. I've dealt with nearly every single one of these young Islander gangs when they were coming through and meeting me, yeah? And I looked after a lot of them. And if I didn't look after these guys, facts only, love ya. If I didn't look after any of these young guys, within the 10 years that I was locked up, I would have made $1 million over and over and over again. NATO, please, thank you. The only reason why I didn't make this amount of money while I was inside prison was because I was too busy helping everyone, paying for court fees, putting in money for boys' buy-ups, giving boys like I told you guys before, when the drama with OC and the Aussie boys started, I gave OC 5 mobile phones. Those mobile phones that I gave them, I was selling them for $3,000 a pop, yeah? If it was a smartphone, Belle, appreciate you, Bella. If it was a smartphone, I'd be selling it for $7,000 a pop. But I was selling them the little crappy Bluetooth phones for $3,000 a pop. I gave 5 to the OC boys, and what was it? 3, 6, 9, 12, $15,000 down the toilet, because I gave it to them, because I cared for them, and I wanted them to have a bit of luxury, call their family whenever they want. They lost all 5 of their mobile phones from their stupidity. But my point is, see how much money that I was giving out and that I was losing. Like all the screws were too busy focusing on me, thinking that I was smuggling Ugdrays or whatever inside prison. They were so stupid, the screws. I was never trying to smuggle anything in on my own. Like, my thing was, everyone that was doing the smuggling, I was like going to them and saying to them, if you want to stay in the Islander yard, pay up. If you want to do what you call you're selling inside here, or if you want to make moves in here, you're going to be doing it for me and for yourself, not just for yourself, you know, because obviously it's the Islander yard. If you're in the Islander yard, you look after the boys, you know, and this is what I mean. I looked after all these young Islander boys, and now look at them. All they do is talk rubbish on social media about my reputation, trying to diminish all the good that I did for them. But it is what it is, you know. I just cop it on the chin and I move on with my life. And then you got little pussies you get on my lives and just talk rubbish. And then when I video call them, they're yelling at me, stop spamming me, stop spamming me. Then what are you talking rubbish for? You know what I mean? Yeah, of course, everybody knows Vic the Combo. for deportation also. No, I'm an Australian citizen. Like that's the first thing my mum did for us when we were kids was get all our family members citizenships. Yeah, 100%. Like, but the most important thing to me in my life was my reputation. So I'm going to give you guys an example. The reason why I went live was obviously to share my story with the hope that the younger generation learn from it. Yeah? But I also came onto social media to fix up all the rubbish that was said about me and my team for the last 9 years. So for 9 years, all these younger generation were just smashing my name on social media and just talking so much rubbish. And then I came out and I told the truth, the whole story, and every single one of them have shut up about it, yeah? And then you got one or two that always come on my comments and just talk a lot of rubbish. There's nothing to do with that. These guys will never ever come on a video call because they know that I'll be sitting there waiting for my screenshot going Hey, remember, when you're talking rubbish, I'll be video calling you. And as soon as you answer, I'll be like, screenshot. My thing is, with my reputation, yeah, let me put it to you guys like this. My wife never would have married me if I had a bad reputation, you know? So that's why my reputation always meant the world to me. Rubik's, appreciate you. Like, I'm not talking about gang rubbish. I'm not talking about street rubbish. I'm just talking about my reputation all around, you know? Parents that know me, church members that know me, you know, like cops and that deal with me, they all say the same thing. Peter is very quiet, very humble. We don't understand where his violent side comes from. This is exactly what every psychologist said to me throughout my whole life as I was growing up. The exact same thing, you know? Like, this guy's so quiet, so humble, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do drugs. Why the hell is he so violent? You know? And it's not that I was so violent. I'm your typical islander. Like, you know, you step on my toes, I go on with it. That's all it is. It's not something where I had bad mental health. Mind you, I had good parents. I was raised the right way. I was taught right from wrong, but I chose my path. You know, I chose to be a hard guy. King Rumble, welcome. You know, I chose to walk the illegal path. You know, like I can never blame my parents or anyone else. King, appreciate you, or anyone else for the rubbish that I've done. Only person I can blame is myself. And that's why I used to laugh, John, is all the psychologists that used to come my way and say to me, you know, maybe it's your friends leading you astray. You know, maybe it's the people that you surround yourself with. And I used to say to them, I go, what are you talking about? Stop blaming my friends and stop blaming everyone that's around me. You know, stop trying to blame my parents for my violent ways. It's me. I'm the one that did this stuff to myself. LAH, Boppa, appreciate you. You know, I took responsibility every time I was in prison. LAH, appreciate you. Every time I was in prison, I took responsibility for my actions. And let me tell you something. You know, in court, when you go to court, if you say to the judge, yeah, that you're an alcoholic, hang, appreciate you. If you say to the judge in court that you're an alcoholic, you're a drug addict, or you had a bad history, upbringing, and there was a, say, like sexual acts that happened to you when you were young, real, appreciate you. These are excuses, yeah, for you to get a shorter sentence. When you say things, these are excuses that you can say to the judge. Daniel, appreciate you. Guess what? Not once have I ever gone to get sentenced and said to the judge, I take drugs, like, or I'm a drug addict, I'm an alcoholic, I'm this, I'm that. I've never ever said it, even though I knew it would drop my sentence significantly because obviously I've been a violent guy my whole life, but I never said it. Guess why? It's because I never wanted my parents to hear the judge say it on stand. Peter, I sentenced you to this, like say 10 years, and I took into consideration that you were an drug addict, or you were alcoholic. I never wanted my parents to hear this stuff. So even though I could have got a shorter sentence, I kept my mouth shut because my reputation meant the world to me. Appreciate you, my man. This bloke, I said, and somebody else, he wrote foreskin. This bloke. And that's what I'm going to say to all you younger generation out there. Keep your reputation clean. Trust me. It will come back and bite you in the ass. Especially when you're wanting people to help you, or when you're looking to get a job, stuff like that. Your reputation is the most important thing. If they find out that you did this or you did that, or you were in and amongst this or you were in and amongst that, or you were a two-face, or you ripped this bloke, or you were a dog, Papa, I appreciate you. They will not deal with you. I know a lot of younger boys who are reaching out to me now, asking me to help them with jobs and money and stuff. Pa boy, appreciate you. But you can't. I can't, because I didn't know who they were. And when I reached out to my people to help them find a job and that, my people looked them up, and I didn't realize these guys who were asking me to help them with work, these guys were in prison for sexual charges, And me, I don't care who you are. I'm happy to help if I can. But these guys are not telling me what they're locked up for, or what they got locked up for, or what they were in trouble for in the past. And so when I'm reaching out to my people, the first thing they do is Google their name, and then it comes up and they're reaching out to me saying to me, Pete, did you know this bloke was in for this? And I was like, no, I didn't. He reached out to me on social media and said he wanted to change his life and he needed my help. So I was like, yeah, please help the bloke, And this has happened to me twice now, and I'm like, bro, so like there's nothing I can do about it. Like, that's who I've been. Entrepreneur, appreciate you. I've always been a kind-hearted person, but that's what people's problem were. The real, appreciate you, people's problem were that they always took my kindness for weakness. Jams, my man. NZ Bloods, mate, they're freaking ruthless. Like, all the gangs in New Zealand are ruthless, let's... You know what, I got one here, so thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, so. Was one-on-one big in your days? Yeah, of course. One-on-ones were always big in my days, but the gangs weren't as big as the gangs today. Now you got gangs from every area fighting each other. It was never like that back in my days. Like, all the islanders got along. The Lebos, they were the ones that had the issues from area to area, like Auburn boys, Villawood boys, what's called Bankstown boys. As for the islanders, nah. Yeah, my 1 million target is still going. It's doing all right, especially for the fact that I've only been out for 4 months. It's doing all right. Younger Triggz, or talk to him. That's a good question. If I could give advice to the younger me from back when I was growing up, I don't think I would listen to myself, but if I could give advice to the younger Triggz, I would probably say keep your circle small. A lot of these gangs that are coming up now, they recruit everyone and anyone, yeah. And back in the days when I was with a gang when I was younger, we used to recruit everyone because all of us were runaways, and I didn't realize back then it was just dumb, like it was the blind leading the blind. That's what's happening right now with all the younger islanders, and that's what was happening to me back then. The blind leading the blind. It's as simple as that. Yeah, Triggz, my man. The airport brawl, far out. Like, what can I say about the airport brawl? Like, Hells Angels and Comancheros, Mick Howie, he told me his side of the story, but I never heard, crazy, appreciate you, but I never heard the side of the Hells Angels guy. Like, obviously, his family lost him because obviously he lost his life at the airport when that drama kicked off. So I don't really want to talk on I don't want his family to, you know, that grief to come back up to his family, because that airport brawl is long gone, you know. But I did hear Mick Howie's version, because he did tell me what happened, and that will be brought up in on the YouTube. yeah, my brother's 212 Heat. I know he's back. I already have cousin. Far out, guys. Your comments are like friggin' getting smashed. I can't even keep up with everyone's friggin' comments, eh? Masi Rook, what about him? No, I'm not 212 Heat. Tanisha, I love ya. I wish I was 212 Heat. I wish I could rap like that. Nah, 212 Heat is my younger brother. For all of you that don't know, 212 Heat is my younger brother. Wait, someone just wrote, I'm Golden Gun's son. So, are you Alan's son, or are you Luke Sparrows' son? I don't think Luke Sparrows has got a son. Yeah, I do look younger, because I used to be pretty until Supermax effed up my face. Far out. See, this is what happens to all you younger generation out there. Again, you go into prison, you're going to get effed up face like mine, and the doctors in there, they refuse to fix you up. You got to come out here, be outside to get proper medical attention. My connections with the Mountie boys. I grew up in Mount Druitt. Like all these guys that talk Mount Druitt out, man. I was living in Mount Druitt, and Wilmot is the area in Mount Druitt that was considered Struggle Street. Yes, I lived in Struggle Street, so I lived in Wilmot. I think it was called Makeda Crescent. That's where we lived. W2K, yes, they were protection gang. But W2K actually started in the main when they were with the Islanders. UTB, SOS, Mount Druitt. No, UTB was Burwood, SOS, Liverpool. They were in Liverpool back in my day. My goals now, well, my first goal, everybody knows what my first goal is to make $1 million in 1 year, legitimately. And that's the reason why I'm showcasing it, so that all of you guys and authority can see that I'm doing it legitimately, you know. I'm going to be telling the story of what you guys are asking me right now. I don't want to talk about it right now, because right now I'm just having fun with you guys, and I'm just chilling, you know? But not chilling like a villain, not just chilling. You made $1 million in 3 days? Wow, Kai, Nika, you made $1 million in 3 days. You are the man, bro. You knock around with Dane? No, I never hung out with Dane, but I knew him when we was younger, because he hung around boys I knew, and then inside jail as well. That was it. Just come see. Wow, out. Guys, now slow down. Have you been to New Zealand? Yes, I have been to New Zealand. Are you good with the Asians? Of course. The Asians were the ones, like I said to you guys, when it comes to jail rubbish and street rubbish, everyone came from someone. So for those of you who don't know, when I first started my life on the streets, I was a typical runaway like the rest of the kids from Mount Druitt and Fairfield. We stuck together to make money and to feed ourselves. But the first time that I ever considered myself as somebody on the streets was when the Asians took me under their wing. So the Asians were the ones that taught me about Ugdres, taught me about Ungos, taught me about the definition of loyalty. ARN, appreciate you. So yeah, the Asians were the ones that that pretty much threw me in the deep end, because they wanted me to understand that the way I was living my life as a gangster, wannabe gangster, growing up as a kid, it wasn't the right way, you know. what's your thoughts on were you, mate? Brothers outside, yeah, of course. I've got a lot of Koori boys that I consider close friends outside that are outside right now. There's a story about that I'm going to be telling, and I'm also going to be showing video footage of a fight between a Koori brother and a rebel bikie gang member. I've got the footage of it. He was charged with it. That'll be coming up soon. But also, James, facts only, appreciate you. Make it, my man. Facts only, appreciate you. Yes, tomorrow you are going to be hearing big stories, as I always tell. Right now, I'm literally just kicking back, having fun with you guys. But tomorrow is going to be the heavy stories, as I do every week. My favorite food, I don't know what my favorite food would be, but my favorite thing to eat, like every 2 days, would be a soft serve from Macca's. That was the first thing I ate when I got out of prison after 7 years. It's too quick, eh? 5 minutes. I grew up with all those Syrian boys. They're very good boys. And yes, they do go on with it. Nah, not chocolate soft serve. Vanilla has to be the original McDonald's soft serve. That's the only one I can eat. I don't even eat a flake. Make it. Facts only. Appreciate you. Adam, my man. What do you think about Maori boys also? Yeah, there's a lot of good Maori boys. Staunch boys. Have a think about it. You watch the New Zealand Warriors, you watch the All Blacks. There you go. Like, power right there. I don't know if you guys know about the reputation of Maoris, but they stood their ground when when people tried to take their country off them, you know. Very strong people. Will Fairfield be taken over by another nationality? Like, Fairfield's always been Assyrians, Asians and Islanders, but mostly Assyrians. When I grew up in Fairfield in 1991, and when I was coming through Fairfield in 1991, there was barely any Assyrians. There was mostly Asians. And then growing up from 1991 onwards, the Assyrians started packing into Fairfield, and then the Islanders after the Assyrians started packing in. Kia ora. No, thanks. Appreciate you. Iranian gangs. Bro, those of you who are asking me about Iranian gangs, Albanian gangs, these gangs are all heavy gangs from overseas that are not to be effed with, yeah? But all these gangs overseas that try to come here to Australia to establish themselves, let me tell you something. It won't work. The gangs here, yeah, they may not do as much as American gangs and UK gangs and obviously the South American gangs. Yeah, you don't hear as much as you do over there. But let me tell you something, like the gangs over here will make sure that they hold strong on their turf. If any gangs from overseas wanted to come here to take over, that would never happen, because I've never seen it happen, you know. Yes, I know Dax. I know the Afghan boys you're talking about, all heavy boys. Come to around Australia. Yeah, not only the Russians were here in Australia. It was exposed on the media. Benny, facts, appreciate you. Like the Russian mob were here, the Irish mob were here, the Italian mafia has always been here, and these guys, KA3, appreciate you. But these guys always kept low key. You know, they never tried to run areas. Give me a sec, guys. Let me just fix this puzzle. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, they never ever, these gangs from overseas never tried to run anything. They kept low key, they made their money, they built their businesses super, and they mind their own business. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm telling you guys. You just keep, when you ask me questions about these big names like Albanians and Iranians, that, mate, they have got heavy names overseas, and they are the real deal 110%. But they're not the gangs that I'm trying to talk about here right now. I'm just trying to talk to the younger generation with the hope that they don't join these gangs. What is it? Croatian and Serbs? Far out. Croatians and Serbs have always been massive. Since even when I grew up as kids, the Croatians back in my day was massive up at the hell's it called? Wetherell Park, Hoxton Park, Bosley Park. That's where they were. And the Serbians were from, a lot of them were based around Wollongong and Liverpool. Yeah, there's a lot of Cook Islander boys that came through, but not many that were in gangs. But a lot of good Cook Islander boys that I come across. 5T, yep, they were massive. 5T was so big, they used to, the train stations, when I was going to school as a kid back in 1998, 99, 2000, like 5T had all of Canleyvale, Cabramatta covered. So you could not go there and try to make a move because 5T had it locked down, you know. And I remember going to the train stations and I used to see all these guys tatted up, all over their body tatted up, yeah. And they used to walk over to you. Didn't matter if you're a school kid or if you're an old lady, they'll walk over to you with a little foil and then they'll open it and they'll say 2 for 40, 2 for 80, 2 for 80. I didn't know what 2 for 80 meant, but I realized later on that, Trey, appreciate you, that this was a cap of Ugdrays. One cost $50. So obviously if you bought two, it'll be $100. So what they used to say is 2 for 80. So if you bought two, it'll only cost you $80. And you got to remember, as a young kid, being confronted by an Asian tatted up, looking like the biggest gangster you've ever seen in your life, it's very intimidating, you know. And I didn't know if they were trying to get me to take it, or if they were trying to like treat me like a pushover, but I wasn't copping it. Like obviously I stood my ground. I was like, mate, I don't want it. And then they just moved along, you know. But mate, all of the train stations were packed with 5T boys that were running for them. My dream job growing up. You know what? Honestly, I didn't have a dream job. All I wanted from the age of 14, I told myself that that I would be a multimillionaire before the age of 27. Listen to this, yeah. At 14 years old, I said I would be a multimillionaire at 27. But at the age of 22, I got 10 years in prison. And I remember I was sitting in prison and I was kicking back on my cell bed. And I remembered the promise I made myself when I was 14, that I would be a multimillionaire by 27. And I thought to myself, far out, there goes that goal. I think I better make that goal 37 because I got locked up for 10 years. And this is what I keep telling you younger boys out there that's watching my lives. Like, doesn't matter what goals you have, whether they're short-term or long-term. If you are inside prison, you're not going to be executing no goals, you know. You're going to be stuck in your cell, smelling your freaking cellmate's itch, because all he's going to be doing is covering it so you can't see him, but you'll be smelling it. And that's all you're going to get inside prison. That's, you know, as hard as you think you are, you know, as much money as you made out here, soon as you're inside that cell, you won't be feeling like a multimillionaire anymore. I guarantee you that. You won't be feeling like a gangster no more. Roof, appreciate you. I swear the amount of times that I went to visit, super appreciate you. I remember there was once, there's a story where I was sitting with my parents, yeah, super appreciate you. And there was this little young Aussie kid. He had a massive black eye like this, yeah. He's sitting in front of me. I'm sitting with my parents. He's sitting next to me, in front of me, him, his missus and his parents. And I'm sitting there and I could hear him talking. And his parents were asking him, what happened to your eye? What happened to your eye? And he goes, Mum, I took on 5 boys. And she was like, what do you mean? Because 5 guys tried to jump me and I smashed all 5 of them. And this is all I got out of it. Trust me, this is all I got out of it. I hammered them. Yo, facts only, appreciate you. And guess what? This story was false. He got beat up by the officers, the prison officers. I was there when he got beat up, But this is what younger boys do. And this is what boys inside prison do. Like they try to hold this freaking image up, when they have visits or when they have phone calls. Don't worry, all good. Oh, appreciate you, Ruth, appreciate you. There's no need for it. But this is what they do, they try to hold up this facade to prove that they're still gangster even though they're inside prison. But it's not worth it. Like all this rubbish that you go through, you end up inside prison, then you can't help your family, you can't help yourself, you can't help your kids, and the ones that end up passing away in your family while you're locked up. Hey, I've seen many boys cry, literally cry, because they lost family members outside while they were in prison, and they're begging screws, like the bosses, like the governors. They're begging the governors to allow them to go. Appreciate you, Facts Only and Ruth, love yous. Triggz, appreciate you. They're begging the governor to allow them to go to the funerals, and when they're not approved to go to the funeral, they start kicking up a stink. Like the same thing happened to my brother and I. I'm not going to talk too much on my family, but the reason why I'm going to bring this up is so that you younger generation understand this. While I was locked up, I lost my grandma, I lost my grandfather, I lost my auntie, my mom's sister, who I was very, very close with. And this is what I'm saying, like, you younger generation, you think that you're doing something good for your family, you think you're doing something good for yourself, but as soon as you're inside prison, you start regretting all your decisions, because things like death in the family, you can't do nothing about it. You can't be there for them. You know what I mean? And then what happened to all the gang? What happened to all the rap songs that you were doing? Nothing. You got nothing. Inside prison, there is nothing to be proud of when you're inside prison. This is why I always say to you guys, being a gangster is not cool. I already said it. 5T was the most ruthless back in the 90s. Hunter, best prison. I've never been to Hunter, eh? This guy, you asked me last time, have I met Ned Kelly? This guy, is Ned Kelly a real name, or are you talking about Ned Kelly that passed away? Yo, AJ, love you, bro. I'll be talking about him in about 2 weeks, bro. The funniest person I met inside prison, bro. You know what? That's a cracker question. I said this the other day. So there was a fat guy. His name was Jay, Samoan guy. The best dancer that you guys will ever meet. You watch things on movies and you think that's funny. Wait till you meet Jay. Yeah, best person to do time with. And he's a fat guy, and he used to always have this saying where he goes, "Don't let the what's it? Don't let the fuck. Don't let the." I forget what his saying was. Don't let the external. Get it. Bro, I forgot what he used to say. But bro, I'm telling you, this guy is the funniest bloke you ever meet. If you want to do time easy, go with Jay. But then also there's this Afghan guy. His name is Baluch. You guys all remember what happened at during COVID? There was a guy that tried to escape. He was inside what do you call it? One of those big containers. And when the cops knocked on the container, he knocked back, and then he got arrested. Pretty much a lot of boys were upset because they couldn't get bail because he effed up his bail conditions. And then a lot of boys couldn't get bail after that, yeah? Anyway, Baluch, he's a crack up. He knows a lot about everything, I used to always say to Baluch, I go, bro, you know a lot, mate. You've been around. But one of the funniest blokes that I've been with is probably Leroy. He was in a gang called BK when he was in Australia. He's now in New Zealand. Leroy is a classic, bro. I swear. The amount of funny stories that I could freaking tell you right now. I don't know if you guys will find it funny, but mate, I find it hilarious. 4 mil what? Put this 4 million. Yeah, I've spoken on Michael Adishu a lot. I was very close with Adishu. Oh wait, Michael Adishu. Sorry, that's the younger one. No, he's different. I've met him a few times. He's a good guy. Yeah, same as Richard Nemo, 100%. Are you Mormon? Yes, I am Mormon. Hey, you know what? Speaking of Mormons, anyone hear about the church that got burnt down at Hebersham? I just got told it was a Mormon church that got burnt down. I went to church there at Hebersham. Like, why would you want to burn down a church? Like, you know, I remember back in the days, someone went and threw a pig in front of the mosque. Like, prayers, appreciate you. Like, why the hell would you try to degrade, like well-respected religious property like that? You know, like, mate, if you got issues sorted out on the street, why are you taking it to where the religious sites are? You know what I mean? It's like unnecessary, like far out. Trying to freaking start religious wars. No need for that, mate. This is Australia. You're free, you know, to do as you please. No need to bring your freaking politics here. Yeah, 100%. It's a place of worship. Doesn't matter where it is, whether it's the mosque, Mormon church, Christian church. All these places are places of worship, you know. This shouldn't be happening. I understand these guys. Did Spanian leave his wife? I wouldn't have a clue. I don't even want to talk on that, you know. I don't know if it's just a thing where they're trying to, you know, hype up Spanian's story, or if it is real, like, then it's something that they have to work on. It's no one's business but their business. Yes, I wore a tie and a suit to church. Oh, bro, yeah. But someone's trying to blame me for breaking up Spanian and his missus. Trust me, what I said was just to teach the younger generation. That didn't break them. You guys see what Spanian is like every day on social media, yeah? You know, the guy, he's got a big name. Now he's got a lot of followers from overseas. That gets in the middle of relationships, you know what I mean? So I don't know if they're really broken up or not. It's none of my business. But trust me, the little thing that I said about them wouldn't have broke them up. That was rubbish. And when I exposed Spanian about sleeping with his best mate's missus, all the bloke had to do was come out and tell the truth. Yes, this is true what happened, but I confronted my best mate about it, and I asked him for forgiveness. Look, he didn't want nothing to do with me, but I left it at that. And no one can ever talk rubbish, because till this day, I married the girl that I went with, and I have got a kid with her, and no one else can say anything about it. You know, keep your mouth shut, because this is my wife now, and I love her to death. That's all he had to say. You know, like, he didn't have to go and do his little karate kicks. Didn't have to, like, have little arguments or pot shots with Underworld Bill and with all these other influencers that he's having issues with. Spanian does not need to speak up to anyone, because at the end of the day, the bloke was a full-blown junkie. He executed getting away from that. You know, he's become a better man, and the bloke has become rich, not only from his social media stuff, but also because of all the sponsors that jumped on board with him, because he actually did change his life, you know. I don't know if the guy's opening smay drugs behind the scenes, but he definitely doesn't look like it. Like, bro, the guy's got a good build. You guys see him doing his little karate kicks and that. So obviously he's fit and he's training. That's what I'm saying. Like, what I said about freaking Spanian didn't ruin his relationship. And the bloke didn't need to have words with all these other social media influencers. He should have just kept his mouth shut and just kept doing him, because he's doing well. Doesn't need to listen to no one, and he doesn't need to he doesn't need to freaking prove anything to no one. You know, he made it, and like, I'm not hating on him for making it. He did well. Daryl, appreciate you. In my eyes, when I see someone like him who defeated being a drug addict and has made something of himself, I'm proud of the bloke. And my thing is, I hope that all the younger generation can succeed like he did, you know. Prez, Richie, appreciate you. All you got to do is what Spaniard did, you know. Put your head down and just work, you know. Harvey, Assassin, my man, appreciate you guys. Like, so many people talk rubbish about Spaniard. Like, you know, I only said one thing. God willing, the bloke and his missus make up if there is any issues, because honestly, they were like a power couple, you know, on social media. But now all these rubbish is happening. I don't know what's going on, but if they can work it out, it'll be better for them, their situation, their family. And yeah, if anyone's going to send this video to Spaniard, that's all I got to say to you, you know. You don't need to listen to no one. Just keep doing you, bro. Caesar. I just saw someone say Caesar. This guy must be the only crip in Australia, because that stuff died out a long time ago. Caesar. Yeah, I know Ferris. I knew Ferris very well. Very good brother, you know. Rest in peace to Ferris. welcome to everyone that is. But you know what? I'm gonna shut down in 9 minutes, guys. 11 p.m. I bet you all of you guys that are watching me right now, you've all got work to go to tomorrow. Taking out the kids because it's school holidays. Nah, I didn't know Bassem Charmy, but one of his family members was my lawyer. Their numbers have dwindled a lot. You know what? I got told a good story about Booyah tribe. I don't really want to go into it, but the silver. But all I'm gonna say is Booyah tribe are the real deal, and they had a lot of pull around the world. Oh. Nah, not John Langy. Chance. Sorry, I know a lot of Langy brothers, but I don't know John. Plans for the kids. I have a course that I've created called Get Smart Now. So this course, hopefully, God willing, it'll be released next year. That's my goal for the kids, not just for the kids, for the young adults as well. And right now, I'm looking at pitching my course to get a government grant. If I don't get the government grant, then I'm just gonna fund it myself. Don't worry, my man. I will be talking about fire climbing at the end of the week. What did someone say? Did Spaniard get extorted? Love, my brother, love. Shane Martin. I heard Shane Martin's name. Yeah, pretty sure Shane Martin was in the Aussie Asian yard. Big Aussie boy. Far out. Do I know any Arncliffe boys, bro? There's so many Arncliffe boys. Far out. I don't know which one's the name. Joey Gat. I haven't heard Joey Gat's name in a long time. You know what? Joey Gat is Italian, and he's actually a very, very good man, Joey Gat. I get along with Joey Tussie. Trains hard. He's in for Erdemes as well. He's currently going for appeal. From what he says, it wasn't him that did the Erdemes. So all the best to Joey Gat, and hopefully he gets his appeal and goes home to his family. Remember, guys, a lot of the eating shows that's happening, the boys that are getting arrested, I don't know if you guys know this, they're not boys that actually pulled the Iga tray. The boys that are getting arrested are boys that drove the cars there. You know, so to all you younger generation out there, remember this: when the older boys or the older gangs are asking you to drive a car somewhere and park it, remember, you're going to be the next one that gets arrested. Hey, appreciate you. So try to steer clear from cars. Like, cars right now are the most red hottest things. If you're dropping it off somewhere, just remember this car could be involved in home invasions, urbanism. This is what's happening right now. A lot of the Uningshays that's happening on the streets, everyone that's getting arrested are not the guys who are pulling the Iga trays. Everyone that's getting arrested are the younger boys who are parking the cars there, you know, or the younger boys that are stealing the cars so that the older guys can use them to do these. So that's just a heads up to all the younger guys that and even the younger girls. Like I even know of young females who are also parking cars, not even realizing that this car is about to be used in a shooting or whatever, you know. So yeah, remember, I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do. All I'm trying to do is educate you on gang life, because I know that you guys are staunch. I know that you go on with it. I know you don't want to hear my rubbish. H Block, appreciate you. But this is literally just brotherly advice from me. If you take it, cool. If you don't, it is what it is. But the advice I'm giving is with the hope that you take it, because I don't want you guys to end up in prison. And trust me, when you're sitting inside prison smelling your cellmate shit, you're going to remember my words. I guarantee you that. Much love, much love. Yeah, everybody out here thinks prison is gang world. Prison is, to be in prison is gangster. Let me tell you something. There was a lot of islanders in the last 3 years that was involved in home invasions. Yeah, I've got a mountain of paperwork inside my room. Yeah, and inside my room I saved all these paperworks because I wanted to explain to the younger generation about all these rap gangs, about all these postcode gangs that came on the newspaper. I'm not saying these out of my words. All these newspaper articles that I saved, it actually shows all these islanders, yeah? I'm not even talking about any other nationality. I'm just talking about the islanders. Because all these islanders that were involved in home invasions, guess what? All these newspaper articles that I saved, all of them were snitching each other in. These are all guys who rep the same postcode, who rep the same gang, who rep the same colours. They all snitched on each other as soon as they got locked up. You know? There was also another gang that I've got newspaper articles of that I saved from prison, yeah? These guys went to the lengths of doing these, yeah? To the fingers and the toes. This is what these younger guys did. When I first saw this, I was like, bro, what the hell? These young guys watch too much movies. What the hell's wrong with these guys? Like, doing this to toes and fingers just to, like, get money. Bro, like, I was full shocked. You know, like, even to a female. They did it to a female as well, you know? And guess what? These islanders that went and done that, all of them started snitching each other in. Yeah, there was one or two that kept their mouths shut and stuck staunch, but the rest of them, they were the ones that were full snitching, you know? Yes, ask your question, my man. This is the platform to ask it. Is Ray Martin a snitch? I do not know. I know a person who started that rumor. He's another islander, Sione, but I didn't believe him because he had issues with Ray Martin, so that's why I never believed it. My thing is, if I don't see paperwork and I'm talking about proper paperwork from courts, super appreciate you, then I don't believe any rubbish that he said. Like that. There's a story of the past that I was involved in where my cellmate, he was an older guy, and the older boys told me that they were going to take him out, and I had to start it. And I was like, oh, what do you mean I have to start it? I said, look, you're one of the younger boys, and all we want you to do is go and start it, and we're going to run in and finish it. Anyway, I walked in and I said to my cellmate, bro, the older boys just told me that you're in for April, you know? And he's like, what? And I said, yeah, the older boys just told me that you're in for April. And he goes, bro, what the hell? He didn't even finish what he said, and I clocked him, bang. And you know, when I clocked him, remember, I was a young 18-year-old kid when I clocked him, yeah? This guy's like an older guy, like 30, 35. I clocked him, and I swear he went like this, bang. And then he looked at me, and he goes, what are you doing? And I hit him as hard as I could. You know, but I did this because the older boys told me, like, to start it. And as soon as I did it, it was no effect. The bloke just, like, his head cracked back, and then he looked at me, and he said, what are you doing? And then I said to him, the boy said that you're freaking in for April. And he goes, Uso. He goes, man, get your facts straight. He goes, are you stupid? He didn't even finish what he was saying. And then boom, one of the Fijian boys ran in. Big LB, Tongan, he ran in. And two other Samoan boys ran in. And they just axed him. Like, when I say went to town on him, Breville, rice cooker, TV, all over his head. You know, this guy got turned inside out, ended up at Long Bay Hospital, yeah? I went on with my prison time, and a year later, it came out and it, on media, and it said that he was released. It said inmate who was brutally beaten at Silverwater Prison has been released when his wife admitted that she accused him of ape rape because he took the kids without asking. And this is the reason why I will never believe anyone's rubbish unless I see with my own eyes that it's real paperwork from the courts, not paperwork that people go and, you know, do up themselves with AI and then stick it on social media and start accusing you of rubbish. Yeah, I won't, unless I see it myself, then I won't believe it. Yeah, there was something about Underworld Bill that came out as well with his missus. I've never seen any paperwork. All I know is that guy came out and he went hard on Underworld Bill, you know. So at the end of the day, if you really, really want to find out, you actually can from freedom of information. I mean, last time I heard of the name of Papalangi was from Juvie. Vesta, are you talking about Vesta, the Aboriginal Vesta? Yep, I already spoke about Tari Zayed about 2 weeks ago. And yes, I will be finishing off the story about the two female lawyers and the two wannabe gangsters that got together to party, and then the two gangsters couldn't afford this. I will finish that story, Mendes. I mean, yes, I do know TK. Rest in peace to TK as well. Oh, look, I don't really want to talk too much about Vesta because there's ups and downs. Vesta, he's well known inside prison because he ill-K'd his cellmate, and his cellmate was his Koei. But there's also paperwork on him, on Vesta, about what he did when he was incarcerated to a female. But from what other boys were saying, Vesta, the reason why he attacked his co-offender at Lithgow was because it was his co-offender that did it, not him. So it's very hard to prove what's what and what's true on that story. You know, I was with him in Supermax, and I refused to mix with him because of the charge that he was charged with. Afele was a frontline soldier, 100%. There's a difference between Trumps and frontline soldiers. Remember, Trump is someone that leads the yard. With the Labour guy, that Asian. Yeah, rest in peace to Mawasua. Yeah, I know those boys very, very well. What are delegates? Delegates are boys that take care of other inmates. For example, Lebanese delegates take care of the Lebanese, Islander delegates take care of the Islanders. Same things with the Asians. Yeah, they also have Aussie delegates, but the Aussie delegate usually just takes care of anything that anyone wants. Yeah, rest in peace to Dave Tafoya. He was a good brother. Trump and well loved. Yeah, I understand Star is very good also. Who's bashed the most screws? Bro, you know what? That's actually a very good question. I wouldn't be able to tell you who, but I told you. I'll tell you who had a big name for attacking officers all the time, and that was Junior Tokatuki. He's Samoan from Mount Jua, and Salim Taba, Lebanese from Bankstown. Those two were very well known for attacking officers, but at the same time, those two are the two that I was talking about a week ago when I said that the screws beat the hell out of both of them and handcuffed Salim Taba naked on a wheelchair, but also the other screws from Kempsey handcuffed Junior Tokatuki naked on the bars in Kempsey. These are things that I keep telling the younger generation about. I don't want this to happen to you guys, you know, and this is how violent these two boys. They were younger boys that came in, went on with it, yes, staunch, yes, didn't care about nothing, and they didn't understand. No matter who you think you are, the officers will always have the upper hand. They have the guts, the guns, they have the the gas, you know, and no matter how much of a hero you think you are, they're gonna freaking shoot you until you're gassed out, and then they'll jump on you. Oh, shucks. All right, guys, it's 11 p.m. I love yous. You know, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a good night's sleep. And to all of you around the world, if it's daytime or morning, good evening, whatever it is, I appreciate you for joining me tonight. To everyone that was gifting, I appreciate you. I was just having fun tonight. But tomorrow at 7 p.m., the stories will be coming out tomorrow. So no mucking around tomorrow. Remember, lock that in. 7 p.m. Triggz, KAE, appreciate you. 7 p.m. Sydney, Australian time. I'll be going live tomorrow. Get ready for that one. It's going to be a banger. It is what it is with Triggz. Yeah, boy. I love yous.